Howdy, and welcome to episode 22 of Cold Beers and Curveballs. I am Chase Almy.
I'm Corey Stevens.
And we are bringing all of the news and action this week. We've got quite a bit to talk about. Corey's Rangers are still doing something that resembles a winning streak. People got pissed off in Detroit that weren't just regular residents of Detroit being pissed off that they live in Detroit. And also the umpires still suck and why umpires' lives matter. So let's get to it. So I guess we will start off today with the story of the Yankees-Tigers brawl that happened on Thursday, the 24th. Basically, what happened was...
That's known as yesterday.
It was yesterday. Hey, but it's the podcasting world, so somebody may look at this and not realize, hey,
you're right.
Yeah, it's not like we're doing live television yet.
Yet,
podcast world, you just look out.
Just wait.
So, Miguel Cabrera got into it with a no-name catcher from the Yankees because he plays for the Yankees.
I believe his name is Austin Romine.
Yeah, Austin Romine. And so some arguing, some jawing happened, and it looks like Miggy just got tired of hearing about it and went ahead and pushed the guy, took a swing at him. Romine, being the man that he is, went ahead and tried to take out his legs, because that's what you do in a fight when you know you don't have a chance, and kind of wrestled him to the ground. Everybody cleared out, and so basically it was a normal fight. The benches cleared.
It was not a normal fight. Miggy was throwing punches.
Miggy was throwing punches, which is now a normal thing.
He missed,
which is
that's
still,
not a normal fight.
Which is still a normal thing in baseball. Like, you don't really land a lot of them. Unless you're fighting Jose
Because they went to the Conor McGregor school.
Yeah, they went to the ground, and so they were going to try to do that on the ground, and that didn't really work out. So Mickey gets a 7-game suspension. Austin Romine was 3 games?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, because I guess they figured he didn't instigate it. He probably said something stupid.
So what were they jawing about before that, though? There was some extenuating circumstances to even start this. I think it was a hit batter, but yeah, no, Miggy.
Well, because Frazier got hit after
first. Yeah, he pushed first, but Romine, I'd say, instigated it because he threw his mask off and he got in his face. So
right.
It shaped up to be a good old Bautista Odor brawl.
Yeah,
if only they could just land a punch.
if only things hadn't gotten out of control. My thing with a baseball fight is, if everyone's that pissed off, why aren't the bullpens fighting out in center field? Like, why do they have to run all the way to, usually it's around home plate or the dugout by the time they get there? And it's like, if you guys are really that mad and you guys really want to go, I would take off just running across the field, meet someone right field, and take a knee out and just be like, there you go, here we are now. But I guess maybe I don't know the etiquette of fighting, because usually at that point it's just a whole bunch of hey, don't you touch my guy, don't you touch my guy.
That reliever was running like Forrest Gump.
He was ready to throw it down, but it didn't really work out like he thought it was going to, I guess. But the bench is clear, 2 more times?
Two more times. And so the Yankees pitcher ends up hitting the guy in the helmet. But he doesn't get a suspension.
I know Todd Frazier got hit.
The managers are getting thrown out. The bench coach
Joe
who's
Girardi,
taking over is getting thrown out.
Joe Girardi should be thrown out of every game that he ever is managing.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I hate Joe Girardi. You remember when he had adult braces?
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
Unfortunately, tell me about it.
He had adult braces back. I can't remember what season it was. He had some adult braces, and
Are we trying to find a picture?
I've already found pictures of them, and they just look fucking disgusting. But yeah, Joe Girardi, I'm sure he had something to whine about. After
Yeah,
the game.
the thing is, like, the reason the reason it went farther is because Dylan Betances ended up hitting James McCann in the helmet. We got guys, national sports writers weighing in on whether or not they think that Dylan Betances, if it was accidental or not. And
I'll tell you this though. Here's the thing: is Joe Girardi blames the umpires for the fight.
Mhm.
So when Joe Girardi's career is over, and hopefully that'll be after the next Yankees losing season, Joe Girardi will be taking over the left-wing liberal Second Amendment. We're going to, blame the guns for killing people, not people killing people. And that's really kind of how I see it, because Girardi's like, he's over here, oh, Brad Osmus is going to say F you to one of my players. Come on, Brad, what is that?
It just cracks me up that Brad Osmus is actually the Tigers manager, because I still only think of him as like the Astros player. No, I mean it was much to do about nothing after it was a legitimate brawl.
Right.
We've had 2 good brawls this year.
We have.
Which is, honestly 1 or 2 more than normal for a year.
I don't know. It seems like things have been getting pretty
Some
chippy.
real knockdown drag-out
Yeah.
stuff doesn't really happen.
The past
every
couple
day.
of seasons, we've had some real doozies.
Yeah.
I just think that it has a place in baseball, and I love it. Like you don't get that shit in football and basketball anymore because they're so tough. They're tough with their 6-game suspensions for hitting women. They're not going to hit a guy. It's not going to happen. It's going to, after they get home, Roger Goodell's pretty much been like, hey guys, we can't hit anybody anymore because it scrambles people's brains. They're like, fuck it, I'll hit my wife. Boom. Or, maybe I don't hit my wife. You can still suspend me.
Chase, I think we're gonna get this back on track.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I looked away and you just scratched and burned this train real hard.
Not at all. Like it's just baseball still is a manly sport that governs itself. That says, hey, I don't like you, and it's like I don't like you either. Well, then let's fucking do something about it, and they do something for it.
Honestly, it kind of surprises me that anybody doesn't like Miguel Cabrera. Like
The only thing you can't.
I thought everybody liked him, and then all of a sudden today, it is like everybody shitting on him.
Yeah, I love Mickey. I think Mickey's
I thought
great.
he's a fun guy, like loved throughout the league, just like Beltre. And all of a sudden, like
No one loves him now.
the Mickey haters have
You
come
know
out in
who
full
I think?
force.
You know who I think Mickey should have punched? The umpire.
That would have.
Punched him right in his white wristband that they couldn't
There
wear.
we go. Oh, umpires these days. We seem to be talking about it every damn episode.
Every episode is about racism and umpires. Like, if
Yeah,
those
are
two
we
things,
changing our name?
if
to
those
Reds
things,
and
yeah, you're gonna listen to racism and umpires. I mean, it seems like those 2 topics have been that homophobic slurs and umpires have made up the 2017 controversial MLB season.
So tell us what's happening with the umpires. They seem
Well,
to
the
be,
umpires have decided that
they have a
are,
persecution complex.
they feel like people are looking at them like, oh, you guys can't do your job. But the thing is people are looking at them and they're like, yeah, you guys can't do your jobs. So I guess in a way it's well deserved. But they all decided to kind of come together and they were going to have this Umps Live Matter movement.
I feel like they got on the phone.
Yeah,
and
the
they're
ULM,
like, hey,
not University of Louisiana Monroe, but the Umps Lives Matter. And they were going to wear white wristbands in solidarity for
Like
Ben
this-
Kinsler's comments.
Yeah, like
Here-
stop whining
here's
at
the
us.
thing is,
What?
umpires need to understand
Their
that,
lives don't matter.
well, they don't. And that's one thing that we'll discuss on racism and umpires. But what the issue is is that they have this idea in their head that they're untouchable. And now MLB finally gave out their suspension to Joe West with the Adrian Beltre comment. Ian Kinsler is saying shit about Angel Hernandez. Angel Hernandez is trying to sue Joe Torre. Chipper Jones actually came up with a GoFundMe account to pay for Ian Kinsler's suspension. Or for his fine, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, he came up with a GoFundMe.
Oh, he did get fined for that?
There is a fine that's
I
going
didn't
to be
notice
hit.
that, yeah.
You can't have it. They can't have a player of that magnitude coming out and be like, he just really sucks at his job. The
Yeah.
only thing that's going to really...
But if he keeps really sucking at his job, he's not going to have a job
the
anymore.
only way that he can lose his job is if he starts betting on games that he calls. And that's the only way. And, good thing we don't let
Right.
umpires in the Hall of Fame, or else would be him and Pete Rose be sitting there talking about why they ain't in the Baseball Hall of Fame. But yeah, the umpire situation is getting out of control. Joe Girardi, I guess, to try to take a little bit of light off of the situation of, your catcher's a bitch.
Yeah.
Basically was like,
They said the umpires lost control of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. No. They lost control of the game, and the coaches didn't have control of the game because it's, at the end of the day, a bunch of, whether we like to say it or not, that's a bunch of overprivileged guys getting to play with a stick and ball every day.
Right. Here's what I like, because the nuts and bolts of this thing, to wrap it up, was that Sanchez got hit and no warnings were issued. This is essentially what Girardi is saying, is that they didn't control the game because they didn't issue both warnings right off the bat, off of one little thing like that. So they let everything go, which honestly most of the time we're advocating for. You don't, just because one little pitch gets away, you don't have to walk out on the diamond in the first inning,
Right.
issuing warnings to both benches.
Had they issued warnings, Joe Girardi would have been like, oh, well, we didn't get our turn. Because Joe Girardi, and I feel like I can say this on air because I don't feel like we have a lot of female listeners. So definitely tell your girlfriend, Corey, that we didn't record this week. He's a lot like an 8th grade girl who found her first period. They don't know what's going on. They don't know why there's blood seeping from places. They don't understand why they feel a certain way. And that's Joe Girardi in a nutshell. He does it. If it's Monday, he wants Tuesday. If it's Tuesday, he wants Wednesday. He's the only guy I know that will sit there and try to eat the underlayer of the cake so he can have the frosting and the pretty little thing. So he's, in his mind, he still thinks, I have my cake and I got to eat it too. But the thing is Joe Girardi, just stop. You're no better than Angel Hernandez. You're no better than any of these other people that you're sitting here bitching about, because that's all you ever do. You've never made a valid point in your whole career. The only thing that you did was you were able to catch Andy Pettit? Andy Pettit? Yeah, you caught him, you caught a few guys. You're an old, washed up guy who doesn't realize his glory days are behind him. You can't coach a winning team. We're like a blind squirrel that found a nut every once in a while, and you had a couple of wins that you strung together. And everything else has pretty much been a bunch of bullshit up until now. And so here we are with Joe Girardi having a team that's kind of on a streak that's winning, that really Joe Girardi has nothing to do. He writes a lineup card, and he doesn't even do that. He's got some kid that graduated from Yale with an economics degree who's sitting there telling him, hey, this is what you should put on the field because we have a whole bunch of computers that says this. And Joe Girardi's like, yeah, well, when Joe Girardi loses his job, you know what's going to be said? Well, the guy with the computer told me to do it. Why didn't he lose his job? Because you're Joe Girardi, and no one likes you, Joe Girardi.
So,
in fact, I called your wife, Joe, and I was like, hey, you like Joe? She said, hell no. Hell no, I know like Joe.
alright, so what would you do if the Yankees missed the playoffs? Right now they're 3 up from missing the playoffs.
They're going to miss the playoffs.
Do you think they could completely tank? in the last
I feel like
season.
they could completely tank. Aaron
Or-
Judge is completely tanked. They tanked in a fight, which means that their masculinity is now in question, which means
Right.
their confidence
There you
level
go.
is going to drop, and that's where it's going to be.
Look, I think we got a key series coming up. We got the Mariners in the wild card hunt,
Right.
and the Yankees holding a wild card spot,
Right.
playing a series coming up, and we're gonna see if the Yankees just fall apart.
I know, and that would be good if both teams could fall apart. Like if maybe both teams,
Right?
you
If
know,
both of those could lose
Yeah.
like extra games.
yeah. If they looked at Robinson Cano and Joe Girardi and like, hey, you two are crybabies. Both teams are going to forfeit.
No, that's my attempt at a segue
Into the Rangers talk,
into
into
the AL
West.
wild card.
Hey, so you know who's been doing a lot of stuff lately?
I don't
And I think
know.
we should bring
Who's
it back
that?
to the AL West.
Okay.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there.
Wait, that was the Astros theme song.
That was the Astros theme song for a little bit, but
they're-
now
they're 5-5 in their last 10. They
Yeah.
are looking.
And what are the Rangers right now in their last 10?
pedestrian.
What are the Rangers
7-3 and 11-4 in their last 15.
there you go. So Rangers won 3 out of 4 against the Angels.
Yeah, that was a weird series though. If we're gonna touch on that for a second, I realized last night before I started paying attention to that game because they started at like 9 p.m. You're about tired.
Yeah, I can't go. I can't watch those games at night. Like
That we had won 2 out of 3 and we have one more.
Right.
Like there were some ugly games, and like even when we won, we were giving up some runs late, and we were like, I don't know, it just didn't feel like we'd won 2 out of 3. I was like,
They were very
really
much.
did.
It was very much like a cat who comes across a mouse outside, where you don't really want to kill it. You just kind of want to slap it around, maybe give it a little shot that maybe it might live. Like that's what the Rangers were doing that whole series.
it was some strange stuff.
But and Deepman,
But hey, but we won.
They won.
But we won 3 out of 4 against a team in front of us. Like you were saying last week, how you were
just gotta win a
properly
few.
you were properly valuing the Angels. I was saying, hey, they're a good team, but you just win a few against them. We're winning the season series if we get tied. That's all it takes. So you got the Twins and the Royals, which you're not gonna be as in control of your destiny versus those teams. Just beat the Mariners and the Angels and
Yeah,
the Rangers.
and the A's. They got that West Coast run right now.
Yeah.
So all the games are going to be late.
To be honest, the next few games, the Rangers games against the A's are the easiest because Seattle has to play the Yankees, the Angels are playing the Astros, and the Royals are playing the Indians. So all 3 of those teams in front have tough opponents.
Right. They could definitely, if they get taken for a sweep, if the Rangers can sweep and the others lose 2 out of 3, you've got a really good shot at getting in.
They're right there. I mean, they're already right there. They're 1 game back. So I might have to eat my words from last week. I still think that there's some fundamental problems. You think about like Martin Perez gave you a good start last night. 7 strong innings, 100 pitches, a shutout, I guess.
Right.
3 strikeouts, something like that. But nobody has faith in him to go in the 8th inning against Trout and Pujols. No. I mean, really barely got by. But we're riding players like Martin Perez and we're going Nick Martinez tonight. I still am not quite sure that we've got enough.
No,
to win.
there's not
It's
enough.
still very
there's
shaky.
not enough gas in the tank here.
Yeah, it's very shaky.
The crew chief, he said, "Hey, let's not pit this time. Let's stay out there, and we're running out of gas there at the Brickyard." I'll tell you who else is running out of gas, and that's Jurickson Profar.
Yeah.
Jurickson Profar, he's not a happy camper, and he probably ain't even going to be there for September. They're going to do those call-ups. I know that everybody's excited about Willie Calhoun. Calhoun? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Willie Calhoun, he's sitting pretty well in AAA.
Yeah, he's everybody hits well in AAA. I hit well in AAA.
No, he's sitting exceptionally well in AAA. The problem is, if he's your left fielder, you have Drew Robinson, Gallo, Mazzara, all these people. Who
We
can
got a
get
lot of
at
left
bats.
fielders. We got a lot of left
That's
fielders.
because that's where you put the players who can't field.
No, you put them in right field.
Whatever. Anyway.
Put them in right field.
Hey. Well, no. I mean, the point is, if you call Willie Calhoun up, you lose a year of control on his contract, and so that's a bad move. That's
No,
what
you
I'm saying.
don't. You don't lose a year on his contract.
Yeah, because if you put him up, then you have to invite him to spring training as part of
Right.
the majors
Well, okay.
next
So yeah,
year.
you basically
if he's a
lose.
September call up, yeah.
You basically lose an option.
Yeah, you use it. That's the whole point. And so, like, if there's no
Because it
at-bats
won't be
for
his
him-
rookie season until
Right.
the next year that he
If
comes.
there's no at bats for him, then why call him up? That's the whole thing. I mean, you're talking about a month. It's not a big deal. So, no, you were talking about Profar. Profar's an interesting case because he threw a fit in AAA. He's very unhappy. They didn't get any playing time. He's very
Because
unhappy.
someone called him a black kid again.
I'm not sure for sure. I'm not really sure,
Clearly
but
from the Netherlands.
some Rangers insiders are speculating like good 95% chance that he's gone next year.
He better be.
And all we can hope for is that he just keeps hitting well. And no, the thing was that we just had to pull somebody up. Phil Gosselin used to write for the Morning News, now plays for the Rangers.
Is he any relation to Ryan?
No.
Oh.
Gosselin, not Gosling.
Oh, he was a horrible linebacker.
But Phil Gosselin, the Rangers called him up instead of Profar. Profar's been hitting well, but the Rangers didn't call him up when Gallo went down with the concussion. So that's why it's weird. And it seems to be the Rangers are just like, hey, you know what? You threw a fit. We don't like you. So you're not getting any major league playing time. Speaking of Gallo having concussion, what happened in the game the other day?
Gallo and Bush ran into each other, and now Bush is out with a knee injury. And
If you're
Gallo is
if
out
you're
with
coaching
a-
outfielders, what do you say to them? Like in Little League, you say call the ball. I know this wasn't in the outfield.
Yeah.
Say call the ball,
Well,
and then they don't call for the ball.
in
Bush thinks that he can go over there. Gallo thinks he can run up, and neither of them can catch it. Or maybe one caught it, but they ran into each other.
And here's the thing: is the pitcher should never go for the ball, and that's
Exactly.
rule number one of pop up.
There may have been some awareness that the shift was on, and in third base, I think Gallo was way far back.
Right.
So that was the reason.
I mean, that's the understand. Yeah, but still, with such a pop up, like it's under the impression that you do not go for it.
Nah, and it looks like Bush is going to miss maybe a week or two more with a knee
Right.
injury because of this. Gallo,
Carlos Gomez is coming back.
tomorrow
Gallo's,
maybe.
And Gallo's out for what?
Maybe
A few
5
more
more
games?
days,
Yeah.
something like that. But he's not getting any more home runs, which is a shame. He's stuck at 35. We were going to have home run leader, and now he's losing in the race.
Right. Well, definitely something that needs to also be talked about on that front is Tyson Ross.
Yeah,
Tyson Ross.
strengthening our bullpen.
Tyson Ross is strengthening our bullpen because he's shitting on our starting rotation. And so Tyson Ross, he hasn't really ever been the Tyson Ross that we wanted.
I think basically he had that first game that was great,
Right.
that teased everybody. If you were to take that out, I think you're probably looking at a 5.6 ERA.
Right, and this actually, my 6-week-old baby Emily, had a group of 6-week-old kids over the other night to watch the Tyson Ross game, and I actually got
Tyson Ross's ERA is 7.
right, and I actually got some audio of them watching the game. So
Yeah.
if you want to hear it. That was them for most of the night. It's like, well, what do you guys want to do? No. And it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm sitting here amongst a group of like 6-week-old children that I actually got out of hot cars. And Corey doesn't like sound effects on the show anymore. Corey says that it reminds him of KNC Masterpiece.
There you go. don't do that.
And so he doesn't like that. But no, Tyson Ross not really being very Ross-like. The last Ross we had though did good, but he played. He went to Boston after that. What was his name?
I don't remember.
He had the big teeth. He looked like fucking Gary Busey.
No, we're rolling with the Nick Martinez, Bibbins, Dirk starting lineup.
Yeah, Bibbins Dirks. He didn't do too hot the other night for you. Though.
No, he's actually given up like
Yeah,
what,
Corey
2 home
wears his
runs,
Bibbins Dirk
2
shirt.
home runs per 9 or something. It's
Corey's
not
the
the
kid.
greatest.
Corey's the kid that just knows he ain't gonna play on the team. He just wants to start the slow clap during like an inspirational halftime speech. So he's got this Bibbins
Start
Dirk
the
shirt
slow
on.
clap.
Yeah, he's got this Bibbins Dirk shirt on that nobody really knew about, and he thought he was gonna get that to catch on. And I actually spoke to the Majestic Grand Slam shop, and they said they've made one Austin Bibbins Dirk shirt, and that was for Corey Stevens. And then they made another one, and that was because
Because his girlfriend wanted one.
no, the equipment manager actually left his stuff on the road trip last, so they had to make him an Austin Bibbins Dirk shirt. But here's another interesting story that happened this past week. While we're on the topic of pitching, we're going to stray a little bit off the AL West and move into the NL West. Was with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yep,
And there was a no-hit bid going on.
there was.
And that was broken up by a home run by, I believe it was Josh Harrison.
That sounds about right. Yes.
And so
Or
it was in the
Harrison.
10th Harrison. Yeah. Yeah.
Either.
It was in the and it was in the 10th inning.
10th inning. Yep.
And they interviewed him, and he said he wasn't even trying to hit a home run. He just really wanted to go home, and that was really his mindset for this at bat. And I think that's pretty much the mindset for most of the Pittsburgh Pirates, because that season has gone south. They looked good for a minute. There was actually some talk about when Sterling Marte came back, was he even going to be needed? And something needs to happen out there, and they kind of seem to be the new Cubs. We'll get them next year.
We'll get him next year.
We'll get them next year.
No, but yeah, Rich Hill threw a no-hitter for 9 innings.
Right.
Quite notable, but the game did not end.
Right.
Because the Dodgers, who have had one of the best offenses in the entire year.
They're on the way to 116.
They've already had 90 wins,
Right.
and the Dodgers got 0 runs that game.
Yeah. It was definitely a great pitching duel. Not a lot of offense until
I think the Dodgers left a lot on base though, and that's
Right.
why. But yeah, all it did is he slapped one to the opposite way and got it to go over the fence. I think it would have been one of the greatest catches we've ever seen if who was in the outfield
if the
there.
outfielder would have caught it.
The Dodgers outfielder, if he had caught that, he was pretty darn close.
Right. Another great thing in baseball that's going on right now is I am a huge fan of watching kids be disappointed.
Yeah, you like the Little League World Series?
Hey, let me get to where I'm going with this. I
Okay.
love it when little kids cry for, reasons of failure.
Hey, that Mexican pitcher.
You gotta watch that Mexican pitcher. That Mexican pitcher, he got a.
Sorry,
he
I'm
got-
derailing you.
he got
Go on,
fucking
go on,
teeth.
go on.
But no, I love to watch this crying deal. And the other day they had a argument about, this kid in the international deal was. He gave a walk-off home run, which was an incredible Little League World Series deal, and the kids just balling buckets out there on the ground. And they show all the other coaches go over, and they hug the little boy, and the kid that hit the home run hugged the little boy and acted like he was really upset that he hit that home run. As most kids.
But that was the
do.
game.
Yeah, it was the game.
It was it the Mexican pitcher in the Venezuela,
Yes.
or is it the other way
yeah.
around?
It was I think it was the other way around. But
He had pitched a great game.
right, he had pitched a great game, and this
And
other
then,
kid
just
hit a
whatever.
great game, and boom, there it went. And so that day they said that they were all Latinos. They were winners.
Or losers
Yeah, I guess
together.
that's Latinos means loser. I don't know. I didn't follow the guy's statement. It probably got lost in translation. But anyways, last night I was watching New England and the Southwest, which was, I want to say it was New Hampshire or no, it was Connecticut and Texas.
Yeah.
And the Texas coach is the greatest Little League coach I've ever heard or seen in my life.
Yeah.
He was hilarious. He was, a couple of kids got messed up on the deal, on like the batting order, and he's like, "You ain't batting." He's this old man. He walks like he possibly had a stroke or something.
There's a lot of old men in Lufkin who like baseball.
Right, but it's so cool that you don't really see that anymore. That this guy has no kid or affiliation with the team,
Right.
and he's out here doing this for.
Yeah, but I like that as a change of pace because it seems like a lot of these coaches are like young and hyped up on Red Bull.
Right.
Because they're just like all about yeah, and they clapping and yelling and everything is encouraging and blah blah blah.
Everyone's
this, that, and
the
the
last
other.
winner.
And sometimes it's nice to just be a guy that sits back and says, okay, do your job. Hey, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
Do it better.
Right.
Good old-
It's like last night when they messed up the batting orders. Like, you're not batting for him. Go sit down. You're batting. You're batting for Jimmy. And then he's like, you get up there and hit it. And that's it. That's all he does. He went out and had a conversation with the pitcher that had all the commentators laughing. It had David Ross laughing from last year's. He was there, and everyone is just like, this guy. He doesn't beat around the bush. Like, he's positive. He doesn't belittle the kids, but he at least tells them, hey, you got to do something here.
Yeah.
It's like this. They almost run rule them, and they finally pulled the pitcher for Connecticut. And the coach is like, this game isn't on you. Bullshit, that game isn't on that little 12-year-old kid. That game is 100% on that little kid. Because he isn't pitching right. You can't walk 6 and be like, hey, this game's not on you, kid.
Right.
You just walk in 3 runs, but, it's not on you. You're a unique snowflake, little boy, and get out there in right field and pick some dandelions.
Right.
And I think, people are like, oh, you got to let the kids play. And yes, you do have to let the kids play. But this is also the reason why we have kids who don't do anything anymore. Because they never learned that, hey, today I was a loser. Some days you win, some days you lose. And that's what's great about baseball is you have 162 days to do one or the other.
Right.
And you pick it.
Yeah.
I don't pick it.
But Chase and I are looking forward to a good old Battle of the Alamo, right?
I am ready for a battle of the Alamo. I'm
Good old
hoping for
Lufkin, Texas.
Lufkin,
versus
Texas,
the
and
Mexican
Mexico.
team.
I think Daniel Boone show right up there.
That'd be a great game.
But we can't talk about it. That's not politically
No,
correct.
we can totally talk
We
about
can't.
it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Trump's in the office. We can talk about it. There you
We can totally
go.
talk about it. Speaking of the Alamo, it's gonna get flooded in a couple of days.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But-
all our Houston fans that don't listen,
All 2 of you.
yeah, be safe down there. My main concern is what's going to happen to the original Whataburger. That's in Corpus Christi. That's the main landmark that I'm really concerned about is store 00001 of Whataburger. That is what I am worried about.
Hey, look, some things are gonna get blowed over, some things are gonna get rebuilt. That's just what happens when a hurricane blows through.
Man, and I love. I don't want anything to happen to anybody, but I love the thought of a guy standing on his roof with a Texas flag, a Lone Star.
Go away, Harvey.
Yeah, screaming,
Just
"Go
yelling
away,
at the
Harvey!"
wind.
And playing "Simple Man" by Leonard Skinner on, standing on the roof, waiting for somebody to come get him. Because by God, he ain't gonna let his Alamo go.
Right. No, but I think that's about all we got for you this
Dude,
week.
it's a short week.
Yeah,
And like we
Chase-
touched earlier last week, definitely if you're a football person, follow the Drinking with the Boys podcast that will be on with the Walk Off Media podcasting. So, we've got a lot of things that are starting to come with this. Some other things that we may be able to talk about in the next coming weeks.
Last little baseball nugget. Chase, you need to go check out the Frisco Rough Riders again. I don't know if you've been lately, but it's a great atmosphere.
What is
There's
going on?
A lot of quality people watching over there.
Oh,
if
I'm
you
sure.
go on a Thursday,
When it's
you can
Thursday?
you can do the little dance.
Oh, God.
It's great stuff.
Man, minor league baseball is where it's at. 'Cause it's like, what, $8 to get in?
Right, basically $10.
Right.
$10 to get in, For the first 2 beers for me and my girl were $1 a piece. After that was like $4 a piece.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it was good times.
You get shit faced with the shittiest over there.
The mascots for the Rough Riders are pretty scary. They kind of look like a weasel.
Yeah, I don't really know
It's
what's
very
going on
strange.
there. Well, I don't know
But
why they just didn't get
but-
Teddy.
But I was there to watch Jake Diekman, and he did great, and he's still doing great.
Jake
And he's
Diekman's
going to be
doing
on.
great.
He's going to be on the Rangers roster in no time.
They'll be on that September call.
That's all I had. Sorry.
So that's all we have today. I know it's a short 35-minute show, but definitely keep checking us out on the Instagram and the Facebook. Also, be looking out for other things going on with Walk Off Media. And if you guys are football fans, definitely listen in for Drinking with the Boys.
For sure, and we're going to get you some shirts soon.
We're going to be getting some swag out and hopefully being able to do some more events. Also, if you're looking for just some baseball that you want to play or whatever, I know the Oak Cliff Pelicans, they're doing their fall season this year. Check them out. If not, there's some other great things that you could do. I know that they're getting really involved with what's going on in Austin and this whole Sandlot baseball movement that we're all fans of. If you can play baseball and drink in the parking lot, it makes for a great day. So other than that, you guys keep watching those Rangers, keep watching your team, keep drinking that cold beer, and listen to us next week. And have a good week, guys.
Play me some songs about